Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. This is my first MMA video on my own channel, and there's probably no bigger topic to discuss than Conor McGregor. He was out in Monaco this week talking about his comeback and when we're likely to see him in the octagon. Didn't quite give us a date, but did give us some good news, some relatively positive news. He's having a CT scan this week on his injured leg, and if it goes well, then he should be back to kicking and grappling soon. We've already seen online that he's already striking. We've also seen him have spats with Henry Cejudo about his distance, the way he's striking. Yeah, so it could be soon, but there's going to be no shortage of opponents for him. Before I get into the video, make sure to hit the like button, hit the share button, and hit the subscribe button. In the little thing before, those are a list of fighters that I think he could possibly face in a comeback. Obviously there was probably a lot more fighters that have been circulated in the news, but I wasn't going to put them up there because the chances of those fights happening are very slim. Your likes of Henry Cejudo saying he'll jump up to lightweight to fight him. Volkanovski said he'll jump up to lightweight to fight McGregor. Max Holloway, I don't see that rematch happening. Kamaru Usman, definitely not happening. Definitely not happening. I know everyone wants the red panty night. Yeah, it wants the red panty night to fight me, but yeah, that would be a mauling. And for McGregor, that's on the back of 2 defeats, one knockout defeat and 1 doctor stoppage. Like, he's got to make sure that he wins this fight because he's at a crossroads. McGregor, in my eyes, lose again, and you can kiss goodbye to fighting for any type of belt, unless it's the BMF belt, because that's the only belt he's going to be touching. So he has to pick very carefully, and obviously McGregor knows this. Dana knows this. Dana can't afford to let McGregor lose again. So here is like the list of opponents that I think he should fight. For me, the fight for me to come back, it's difficult really, because some of the fighters on this list are either coming off of losses, like your Tony Ferguson's, your Nate Diaz's, or they're going to be pushing for title contention. You're looking at Charles Oliveira. He's probably going to be fighting in December in Brazil against either Makhachev, Dariush for that lightweight title. Unless he's going to be inserting himself in Brazil to fight for the belt, which would it surprise you if he actually was announced to, yeah, he's coming back end of 2022, he's going to fight Charles Oliveira for the belt. He wouldn't deserve it, like he wouldn't deserve it in terms of fighting back-to-back losses, but it's Conor McGregor, and that star power overlooks everything, the records that he's got, etc. Just look at Anderson Silva towards the back end of his career. Obviously not comparing to his fighters, but look at the way Anderson Silva went out. Like, he was, I think he's lost like 6 in his last 7 or something ridiculous like that. But his star power is like, oh, he's Anderson Silva. You might show us a different Anderson again. You might go back to how he was pre his leg injury against Chris Weidman. But yeah, so I think it's quite a tough one, because if you're wanting to fight him, you're probably waiting until next year. I don't see McGregor fighting this year at all. I think if he was coming back this year, I think the fight would have been him versus Michael Chandler. It's probably the most exciting matchup for him. A guy that's coming off a win, coming off a big win against Tony Ferguson. That probably one of the most brutal front kick knockouts in UFC history. Could have him versus McGregor, and that would give Chandler the big name that he's wanted since his Bellator arrival, and it would give McGregor a sort of big name, but someone that should he win pushes him straight back into that title contention. So that's the one that I think is going to happen. But the thing is, if Michael Chandler wants to be active, wants to be an active fighter, he's probably going to have to fight again before he even gets that McGregor fight. Because are you telling me he's going to sit out to January, February to fight? That as an athlete, as a competitor, you want to keep fighting, keep the rhythm. So whether or not he wants to sit out for that long is it's completely up to him. The next person, Nate Diaz, trilogy. I want to see that happen because Diaz is on the last fight of his contract. I know that the UFC have been trying to feed him Khamzat Chimaev for the longest time. It's like they're trying to bury him on the way out, just like WWE. When you do something that the bosses don't like in WWE, you usually get buried on the way out to make sure that no one wants to go near you. And it feels a little bit cruel on Diaz. The fact is that he's been wanting to fight. Like, he wants to fight Dustin Poirier. Like, that was a fight I was looking forward to seeing at the beginning of the year, because when Dustin lost to Charles or Oliveira for the belt, it was rumored like he's going to have a quick turnaround in about a month to 6 weeks time against Nate Diaz, and I was like, hello, okay, give Diaz a big name at welterweight. Okay, it would have been at welterweight, but it would have been a big name, and Nate Diaz has that star power to get big numbers. But yeah, Nate Diaz, that trilogy, the likelihood of this happening is if I give it out of 10, 5 out of 10, 50-50. It all depends on Diaz. It all depends on his relationship with the UFC. To be honest, another name that was rumored, I think there were some rumors saying that he was going to fight Dan Hooker in January 2023. That screams of, it's going to sound really disrespectful to Dan, that screamed of Donald Cerrone. Someone that you could throw him in, McGregor wins, and you're like, wait, McGregor's back, is he going to do this and this and this? Likelihood of that happening, you're probably that. The things, I don't see that one happening because one, Hooker's not a big enough name in that sphere, and plus he's coming back off 3 back-to-back losses. Are you sure you're wanting to give him a 4th back-to-back loss? So the likelihood of that happening, I'd say, is slim, but you never know. If the money's right, then yeah, why not? Dan Hooker's game, but Dan Hooker needs to be careful because he is running the risk of being just another cowboy. Anytime, any place, anywhere, any weight. So yeah, whether or not that happens, never going to see Dan Hooker at 45 again. I thought he said it was a successful weight cut, but he looked like he killed himself to get down those scales. So back at 55 is probably the best place for him. Trying to think of who else that was on that list. Tony Ferguson. Tony Ferguson's a name on that list that We've been wanting that fight for many years. Remember after he beat Kevin Lee for the interim belt and he called him out, McNuggets, you piece of defend or vacate, and those who have been back and forward on Twitter. Could I see this fight happening? Yes, 100% could see this fight happening. But it's the same old question. Does he want to wait until January, February to fight? But Tony Ferguson's come out saying that I want a quick turnaround. I want to get back in again. Calling out Dustin Poirier. So I don't know whether or not he's gonna wait. And this is the key with all the fighters on this list. How long are they willing to wait for him? Because if McGregor's not fighting this year, are you willing to wait until this time next year to fight? No, probably not. And the last name on the list is Charles Oliveira. Does Dana go, yeah, let's annoy every single lightweight and go, yeah, December, Brazil, Charles Oliveira versus Conor McGregor for the vacant lightweight gold. Let's get the belt back on him. That's why we screwed Charles on the scales, because we know McGregor's going to be back. Yeah, I could. I know everyone's going, oh, but what about Islam? What about Islam Makhachev? Islam, fight Dariush. Alright, let's not talk about title talk, please. Because you've not proven me that you're title ready yet. So you need to beat Dariush. Another fight that needs to happen. Then yeah, hop right in up. Then you can fight for the belt. But I don't think you should just jump and fight for the belt after knocking out Bobby Green. Like, it doesn't work like that. But yeah, could I see that happening? Yeah, probably. Could Dana do it? Absolutely. Dana loves McGregor. He would love nothing more than to chuck McGregor back into the lightweight title thing. And to be honest, when you look at that division, it's gonna be Charles versus someone else. And when you look at the top, it's like seeing him tap out Poirier. You have Islam and Beneil Dariush need to fight. Submitted Gaethje, knocked out Michael Chandler, dominated Tony Ferguson. And you're probably thinking, saying, unless you're chucking RDA that doesn't deserve it, then you're probably thinking, yeah, McGregor is probably next in line, which is crazy to think that after a year, it's probably going to be 18 months by the time he actually gets back into the octagon, that he just jumps straight into a title shot. But as McGregor came out and said, his title shot or nothing. But and then he quickly backtracked, saying, but I'm a competitor. I need to fight. I need to keep active. So yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Who do you think McGregor's comeback opponent should be? Make sure to hit the like button, hit the share button, and most importantly, hit the subscribe button. And I will see you all very soon.